Aloha and mahalo for joining me. I'm Janin, and today I want to talk to you about body image. Now, one of the things that I love to do is to make videos and teach women how to dress so that they can look good, feel good in their clothes, make better choices or buying decisions when they buy their clothes, teach women how to find the right colors for them. And I really love it when women really feel good in what they're wearing. But one of the things that I've discovered by working with women is that they suffer from really poor body image. Now, we know that we have things that go on in our mind that are good and bad, but one of the things that I've discovered is that talking to these women is that when we're little, right, we're taught all kinds of things about ourselves. If we're a little bit overweight or if we're chubby as a child, we tend to hear those comments from our family and sometimes friends. And then even at school, right, the kids can be really cruel. They can tease you and things like that. And so what happens is over the years, you tend to keep those comments with you for some reason. We like to hold on to things that people tell us that aren't good. And so by the time you get to be an adult, we've already come to the conclusion that we're overweight, we're unattractive, we look ugly in our clothes, right? You can name all the things that you can say to yourself or you've heard people say. Now, in my conversations, there's one thing about body image that I find interesting is that it tends to come up in a lot of the conversations that I have. And sometimes it's not even when we're talking about clothes. And so we women tend to hold on to all of those things. Now, it's really hard to look good in your clothes if you have a really poor body image, because our poor body image shows up in your posture, how you stand, how you walk, how you sit, how you talk. It just shows up. So one of the questions I want to ask you is, do you have a poor body image? Now, I can tell you that you're not the only one if you've answered yes to that question. There are so many women out there who I personally have talked to and that I know that suffer from that. Now, instead of focusing on any negative things about us, try thinking about the things that are positive. So look at your gifts and your talents. Instead of looking at, okay, so if you are a little bit overweight, try not to focus on that and dwell on that every day of your life, because that's really not going to help you. And it only increases the amount of bad feelings that you have towards yourself. And instead, focus on what you can do to better yourself. Sometimes people do struggle with weight, and it's not all about eating too much or things like that. There are different reasons why we have weight issues and body issues. So think about that, because all of the things that I teach here in my videos about color and style and all of those things, it's really not gonna matter if you have a poor body image. So you really have to get focused on how you can let go of that poor body image that you have and try focusing instead on all of the good qualities that you do have. We're not perfect here on earth, and it's not meant for us to be perfect. No two people are alike either. So try and embrace your gifts instead of only focusing on the negative things about yourself, because we all have things about us that are negative and things that we don't like and things that probably we need to change. But life is meant to be a learning process, right? We're here on earth to gain experience and knowledge, and we're here to try and overcome our weaknesses. We have to go through the struggle to be able to get to the other side of achievement. So body image is the relationship we have with ourselves, with our mind and our emotions and our body. So if you can think about what that relationship is like, sometimes I've talked to women who are in denial Now, some are not in denial, definitely, because they talk about their poor body image quite often. But there are people who are in denial. So if you are one of those that you just don't want to think about it or hear about it, you have to be willing to recognize it in order for you to deal with it and overcome it. Now, we can't expect to have a perfect body, but we can try to live healthy and do the best that we can. And you know what? Another problem that we have here in society is that we see commercials and magazines and movies with all of these women who are skinny and they have these nice looking bodies. But what people don't really think about or recognize is that they have people to come in and help them, either to coach them or train them or do things like that to help them get into shape and stay in shape. And not everybody has that luxury. So what I would say is just focus on what you can do to have a better body image and a self-image, because we have a long life to live here on earth, and you don't want to live the rest of your life just beating yourself down about how ugly you think you are or how fat you think you are or how your body is not perfect or things like that. I would say just focus on what you have, the gifts that you have. And yes, we do need to exercise and things like that, but don't beat yourself up. The main thing is that you recognize what's going on and that you have the desire. You need that desire to want to overcome, your thinking and how you feel about yourself. Because we have conversations with ourselves more than we have with anybody else. And we like to say bad things about ourselves. So the dialogue that you have going on in your mind can be pretty brutal sometimes. So please, please think about your body image and what you're thinking and saying to yourself. It's really important that you value yourself, because I have my trusty dress form here to help me in my videos. And yeah, she is, or this dress form is a small size because it fits me. If I had my way, I'd be a couple inches taller and so on and so forth. But I try not to dwell on those things because this is how I am. And I have to be happy with what I am and what I have and who I am. I just want to encourage you and emphasize to please focus on your gifts and the good things that you have about you. Everybody has good things about them, good qualities. You are given gifts. So try to focus on that instead. Because, we want to be happy here on earth. Focusing on the negative is not going to make you happy. And, I do struggle with things too. Because, I've been teased too growing up as a teenager and a child. So I've had to try and work on those things and let it go and recognize the gifts that I have and not focus on anybody else. And last but not least, do not compare yourself to anyone else, because there is no one else like you on earth. You are unique and special. So focus on you and making yourself the best you that you can be. And mahalo for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos and to hear what I have to say. And I do encourage you to value yourself, because I value you. That's why I make these videos, to help you. And please subscribe to this channel, and I hope you have a great day. Aloha.